Hello everyone, and this will be a series of lessons on Year 12 Maths method VCE level. And the first lesson is about functions. So, alright, now functions and graphs. Well, first lesson we look at the set notations and use them correctly. And graphs of circular functions, exponential functions, power functions, graphs of polynomial, transformation of those, addition of ordinates, and hybrid functions, implied carry out calculation on implied domain, finding intercepts and asymptotes, and finding composite functions. So let's start with the set notations and understand them and understand how to use them. Alright, before we get into the set notations, we actually need to understand the real numbers, because in method we do use real numbers. What are the real numbers? So, alright, now we have natural numbers, integers, and we have got rational numbers. So, let's say real numbers. And we subdivide all real numbers into and natural numbers are numbers greater than 0, so 0 is not included, so 1, 2, 3, and so on. And we have irrational numbers. So use n for rational numbers, natural numbers I should say. We use q prime for irrational numbers, e.g. Square root of 2, 5, 3, 5, pi, those are irrational numbers. And we have integers. There are, integers, we use z or zehlan. That which are negative and positive numbers. Negative and positive numbers, then whole numbers I should say, negative, positive, whole numbers, and so on. Yep, and we have rational numbers. Which we use Q, stands for quotient. And these are numbers made by dividing two integers. It could be terminating and non-terminating fractions. So things like a quarter, or you could have, this. So 3, 3, 3, 3, or 1, 1, 1, 1, 1. Yeah, so non-terminating, terminating, and non-terminating and terminating fractions, and so on. Have this. So all those. So these are the real numbers. So could also use set. Could say where natural numbers are subset. So natural numbers are subset of integers, because integers have got positive and negative, and integers are subset of rational numbers, and rational numbers are subset of real numbers. So they are all part of real numbers. Alright, we use sets, and when we're using collection of things, and we use presses. Alright, set of elements. A set is a set. It's a collection of items. That's what a set is. Could be numbers or anything you can think of. So we use braces, which is that. We also have a function. So let's define what a function is. Now we have understood the different types of real numbers. So what is a function? Well, a function is an ordered pair of elements in the form of x and y. So function. So every x value has a y value that maps to it. So every x value has a y value. So x are the domain. So x values are your domain, and y values are your the range. All right, and say if you have a set of values on x values, let's say 1, 2, 3, 4. And we have for this x value, that's a function. So this one here, so the 2 is not a function because it has more than 2 outputs. In other words, it has 2 y values. Alright, now we can also use the vertical and line test to find out whether it's a function or not. You run a vertical line, and if that line touches more than once the function, it's not a function to test. Whether a function or not. If I draw a vertical line, it touches one, that's a function. So if I have like a circle similar to this, or it touches twice, that's not a function, not a function, not a function. It's a function. All right. So let's find out. Let's actually go through intervals. And now we've known what a function is. Intervals. Interval notation. So we use intervals. So we can use inequalities. And we can use interval notation. And we use square brackets or parentheses. All right. And also we can use the number line. All right, let's say we have A is that, so we use, so let's say X is in between. So that's my interval, my inequality, so we can use an interval. So this is how we could also write it. It's going to be square bracket included. So the values of X and the values of A and B are included in that set. So that can also be written as using the number line. So let's say A and B. So we use closed circle. Included. All right. So we use parentheses. So let's say this section A is included, but not B. So that's going to be, we use parentheses, and that's included. So now if I was to draw this, it's going to be an open circle and a closed circle. All right, let's say we have X is greater than or equals to B. Well, if X is greater than or equals to B, so that's going to be, and we use square bracket, and we don't know where to finish. That's infinity. And on the number line, we're just going to have to use a closed circle and just use an arrow to indicate that it keeps going. And there is rejection set. Let's have a look at the rejection set. Set rejection. In other words, which values of X are. So the set rejection, so this basically means all real values except A, all real values except A, all real values except the set of A and B. And sometimes you see this. All right, let's understand what that one means. So now that means such that the A and B are my domain. So that's what it means. And the arrow means maps to. Maps to. And the real value there, that is codomain. All right, and that's it on the set notation understanding. And our next lesson we look at more into functions based on our objectives.